Definitely.
Awesome.
Yeah,
Okay, so it sounds like the call is already being recorded. Dave, I think it's you tonight maybe. Can you mute the lines if you haven't done so already? Perfect. Katia, I'm going to let you take it away.
Hey, you guys. Definitely good evening. Just want to say a little bit just about me and my story. I recently became, well, not recently, but I'm a 100-pound loser as of last year. And a little bit about my story is my best friend shared the challenge with me. At the time, I was 337 pounds. And over a year on the challenge, I've dropped about 100 pounds. Right now, I've dropped 114 pounds in my current VI commit. So I'm just super stoked. My commit right now is to drop 30 pounds in 90 days. So I'm just trying to crush it the best that I can and just pretty much take it, a day at a time. And so that's just a little bit about my story. And with that being said, definitely want to introduce the awesome, the beast, the demolisher Faith real quick to this call.
Hey everybody, how you doing? I hope everybody's having a really great night tonight. We have some really super fantastic people coming up on this call. Actually, we really are trying to review everybody's VI commit. Some people are hitting 30 days already, 60 days already. And the first person that we have for you tonight, Katia, why don't you introduce Stephanie for us?
Oh my goodness, Stephanie, this rock star. I've been seeing her all across Facebook. She has been crushing it, and it's so inspirational. And just seeing her commitment just reminds me when I first started, and I love it. So Stephanie, definitely, you're on the call.
Yeah, I am on the call here.
Awesome. So go ahead, Stephanie, take it away.
Okay, so I've always struggled with my weight. I got pregnant at 15 years old, and my body just changed completely. I got pregnant then again after graduating high school. So I was 19 years old when I found out I was going to be pregnant again. And I knew that the man that I was with wasn't going to stay. About 5 months later, he left me, and I was really stressed and scared. A short while later, I met my husband, and he welcomed my son into the world with me. And he later proposed to me, and I was so excited that I was going to get married, and I wanted to slim down for my wedding. So that's when I was introduced to Pat Ryan via Facebook, and he got me started on the transformation kit. And I had amazing results. I lost like 30 pounds in my first month. And even though I lost the weight, I was still really depressed over this man leaving me. So I went on antidepressants, and within a month, I gained 60 pounds. I was just so frustrated that I quit ViSalus, and I quit on myself. A few months later, I got married, and then I had my daughter as well. And I knew I needed to get some life insurance. So I had an insurer come to the house, and she sat down and did up a plan with me, and she told me, you're denied. I can't give you this plan. And when I asked her, she said, well, because you're obese. I never saw myself as obese. So I knew I needed to get back on ViSalus. So I messaged Pat again. And this time I did really great. He encouraged me. He was such a good leader. I lost 25 pounds again in my first month. And then I found out I was sick. And I went to the doctors. They couldn't figure out what was wrong with me. They blamed it on the shakes. So of course I got off them again. And it turns out I was just pregnant. So now I am 4 kids in. I have lots of stress in my life. And, I was on a walk mid-January with my kids and my husband. And I had to be rushed to the hospital because I had a stroke. I'm 22 years old. I have 4 kids and a husband who all need me. I knew it was time again, and I knew this time it had to stick. I needed to do something about my weight. January 20th, I started up, and Pat, again, was amazing. About a week and a half later, he gave me an offer I couldn't refuse, and I became a promoter. I was held me accountable. Day 40, I weighed in, and I was 30 pounds down. And now, yesterday, about 15 minutes before my time was up, I was able to make Rising Star, and I'm so happy about that. There was a lot of hard work that went into it yesterday, a lot of stress, and a lot of happiness. And I wouldn't have ever made this happen without Pat and Elaine. They helped me every step of the way. I'm truly blessed to be on this team. So there's a little bit about my story, and I'm getting all emotional.
Stephanie, that's amazing. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Oh, man, you are so, I love just watching your posts because you are just crushing your Vi commit. You know, you're going all in and you're giving it everything you've got, and I just love to see you posting. And, you know, a lot of people on this call might not even know about the business side or know much about Rising Star, but really what it boils down to is that you are helping a lot of people change their lives, and it's awesome to see, you know, one of the pillars of ViSalus is life. And so, you know, it's awesome to see just how ViSalus has brought it back around for you. And it's, you even through your ups and downs and, you know, having a couple kids and stuff, it was always nice that you knew that this was something that I could come back to. This is something that I could, you knew that it worked. And, it, you know, sometimes it's just when the right time hits. And now look at you. You're just off and running to the races. That's really, really awesome. So thank you very much for sharing with us.
If it doesn't work the first time, try again, right?
That's right. That's right. Never give up. That's one of my biggest pieces of advice is to just never, ever give up. And I just want to thank you for sharing. Now, Katia, I know we have some huge news on tonight's call. We have something super exciting, and I want you to be the one to share it.
Okay, awesome. So definitely, with all the excitement and just anticipation, I have to share, need to get on this call, Tory Lynn. I believe is how you say her name. Hopefully I said your name right. If that is, please get on and definitely share your story.
Hey.
Hey, how you doing?
I am great, guys. Well, my story starts about 4 years ago. Zach Loescher is who nagged at me for about 6 months, not realizing how big I really was. I hid myself a lot. I was the girl with the face, and that was it, nothing below the chin. I became a widow at the age of 22. I was left with a 3-year-old little girl and 2-year-old twin boys. And that's pretty much where my life started to just tumble, and I stopped caring about myself. And the more Zach talked to me 4 years ago, the more I realized, you know, my kids lost their dad. They don't need to lose their mom, too. And it was time for mom to take care of herself and stop putting everybody else's needs above my own. And that's really what it's about. You've got to clear your mind and your heart, and you've got to do it for you. You can't do it for everybody else. You have to do it for yourself. Hard work, dedication, the right mindset, the right people in your life. Anybody who's tearing you down and doesn't believe in you, you don't need them. Wash your hands clean and keep those that encourage you and believe in you. And that's what I had to do. I had to cut ties with a lot of people, because it was always, you can't do it, you won't do it, you'll give up. And that was my fire. Just people were fueling that fire for me, and I took that negativity and I turned it into a positive. Through my journey, I've had a lot of ups. I'm down 447 pounds now. Feel great. I've had a lot of downs. My marriage is over. My world was turned upside down by a lot of things. My daughter had brain surgery and back surgery within 3 months of each other. The last 9 months have been crazy for me, but I never stopped. I kept going. And when I felt like I was hitting rock bottom, I reached out to a lot of people in the company and outside the company, because sometimes you have to have that shoulder to lean on. And it's that you've got to believe in yourself. It's just one of those things that if you have a negative mindset, you're not gonna get anywhere. you got to clear that mind and clear your heart and just go for it. I jumped in with both feet, and I'm glad I did. I've never backed down. I've hit my knees a lot, but I never stopped. And it's about climbing those mountains and getting over the trials and tribulations in life and not letting anything stop you from being happy and, most importantly, healthy.
That's incredible. You know, I have watched you on Facebook and seen some of the things that you've been going through over the last several months. And, you know, I know that I've also been struggling with some things too. And for me, I know that, you know, it's really hard not to fall into that emotional. Actually, it's really easy to fall into emotional eating and stress eating and stuff like that. And I just really want to commend you because you have really managed to stay the course and stay committed to your challenge. And in spite of, you know, marriage stress, your child's health, the stress of that and everything else. And it's just been really amazing to watch you stay the course and not go back to, you know, where you were when you started.
I can't. I want to live. I want to live a long time.
Yeah.
I'm too stubborn.
Well, I want to congratulate you. I mean, over 400 pounds. I mean, my gosh, like it's just incredible. It really, really is. And I want to thank you for getting on the call tonight because I know I needed to hear your story, and I know that there's other people out there that need to just to hear from somebody who, you know, we have somebody on the other end of the spectrum, Stephanie, who's crushed, you know, her first 40 days. And it's great when you go through that part of your challenge and it's just win, 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 win. But it's also really incredible to hear from somebody who, you know, you've had some struggles and some personal struggles and some health issues in your family, but you've still managed to win as well. So that's really, really encouraging. I want to thank both of you for getting on the call.
Thank you.
You are welcome. We have a brand new 100-pound club member. So, Dave, you might need to unmute the lines. I didn't hear all the introductions, so I'm not 100% certain that she's made it on the line yet tonight. Do we have Kristin on the line? I guess we don't. Maybe she didn't make it on tonight, and we will have to welcome her another night. That's something that we really, really like to do with everyone as you cross, you know, even 50 pounds, 75 pounds, the 100-pound mark. We love to welcome you personally on these calls into the Pound Club, and it's such a huge accomplishment. And so when we get her on the line, hopefully maybe next week, if she's if you're here, Kristin, chime in because I really want to hear from you. But if not, we can just move on. I don't think she's made it on the call, but that's okay. You know what? Sometimes things come up. Maybe she's out there sharing the challenge with somebody else. And, you know, we wanted to tag this call. We wanted to call it ViSalus Is Life because everybody that got on this call, the challenge really did transform their life. And for some people, it was about their emotional health as well as their physical health. For some people, it was just having the community to come back to after having some ups and downs. And for others, it was just getting their life back and getting their energy back and getting moving. I know for me, I know I didn't really say much of my story because, you know, I'm on this call so many times. I don't often like to say too much because I feel like everyone already knows my story. But for myself, I was bedridden, and I really did feel like my life was over at that point, and I really didn't know what I was going to do. I was someone who I had yo-yo dieted. I had been overweight probably since I hit double digits at 10 years old, 11 years old maybe. I think that's when I actually hit triple digits on the scale, and it was just a way of life for me. I didn't know why. I didn't know how to fix it. I didn't know why I could lose some weight and then I'd gain it back, and then, you know, I'd try something different. And by the time ViSalus found me, I was so frustrated and so out of hope. I had probably literally lost hundreds and hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of pounds and gained them all back in my lifetime because I just didn't have the knowledge, and I didn't have a system that was foolproof, and I didn't have a community of people. I felt very alone, and I know that I'm not the only one on this call or even in the community, if you have a significant amount of weight to lose, you know how lonely that can feel. And you know that you often fight with the thoughts that nobody understands your struggle and nobody understands where you're coming from. You struggle with, for me, I really struggled after having so many failures and continuing to gain it back and, get heavier and heavier. My metabolism got more and more damaged as we went along, and just not having the self-worth to really feel like I was worth the effort that it was going to take to get the knowledge and to find the people to surround me and to find the program that was going to work and to stick with it. So I think deep down that's where some people fail. We try to share the challenge with someone because we love them, we care about them. And I know for me, I know how I felt like I found the cure to cancer. I mean, I felt so good day after day after day. Every shake I had, I felt, every day I woke up like, is this the day that, I'm going to level out? And no, every day I felt better than the day before. And I didn't know when it was going to stop. And so I wanted to share it with my friends and my family. And sometimes it can be difficult. People don't, Tory said she got a lot of negativity, and there were a lot of people who just didn't understand where she was coming from or maybe what her commitment was or what her goals are. Some of us get knocked around because people say, oh, you can't drink a shake and be healthy. Well, they don't know our system and they don't know our products. And, we are blessed in ViSalus to have an incredible scientific advisory board that are top in the country in nutrition. And we have a lot of doctors and naturopaths and all sorts of different people that have really looked into this thing and really looked into this shake thing and really looked into what's in our products. And so we are very blessed that I believe we have the best on the market. I really, really do. And I don't say that from a sales pitch. I say that from somebody who's drank most of the other shakes on the market and couldn't tolerate them. I was hungry maybe 5 seconds later, and that's really rough. How many of you know what it's like to be hangry all the time? So for me, I was just out of hope. I was out of strength. I couldn't even exercise. I was stuck in bed, and I didn't know what I was going to do. And I didn't want to fail again. And, probably some people are maybe raising their hand because you understand what it feels like if you've been that person who's tried so many different things. And as a kid, I was mocked and I was teased, and, that all tied into that fear of failure and fear of failing yet again. But my favorite part about ViSalus and what it's given to me and the life that it's changed for me, and that's why I love this whole pillar of ViSalus Is Life, was the group of people that came connected to that kit. When I posted that I was starting a 90-day challenge and this is what my goal was, my very first time, I didn't even know all these people that were clicking on my post and, clicking on my name and adding me as a friend and telling me I could do it and encouraging me. Here I was stuck in bed, and I could hardly weight bear on my legs in order to even go to the bathroom. So, it was a really low time for me, crawling, dragging myself across the floor, even to have to use the bathroom. And it really compounded the feeling alone. But when I would get those messages and see those likes and see those comments from other people who were on the journey and other people who were doing it as well, it just changed my whole world. It was like a light penetrated the darkness that I had, and it really did. We called us TeamVi Hope for a reason, because so many of us had none when we found the challenge and when we found each other. And it's just been so incredibly awesome to see all of the people that come in with similar stories. I was out of hope. I was out of time. I was out of luck, and I just was ready to give up. And, that's what we want to do with all of these calls each and every week is we want to hear your story. We want to know where you're at. We have, the Facebook page that we have Instagram, we have the YouTube channel where you can go back we've been doing these calls for over a year now. You can go back all the way to the beginning, listen to every single one. And sometimes I do that. I've been struggling myself, going through a really rough time in my personal life. And so to be able to go back through some of those calls and listen to the hope from one story to each story is like a building block in our tower of hope. And we just love that we can continue to build hope and build hope and build hope. When we don't do this for ourselves, we don't do this because we want to brag about our stories. We're out there searching each and every week to hear from you and to find a story that somebody will connect with, because everybody's different. And so we just love We'd love to hear from you. Connect with us on the Facebook page. Tell us who you are. Tell us what your goal is. Tell us what your success is. Tell us what you're struggling with. Tell us how we can help you, because that's really what we're here for. Katia, I know you're still out here. Are you still on the line, or did you head back into Zumba? She must have headed back into Zumba. Do I have Pat Ryan on the line? I'm not sure if he's on the moderator pin or not, though.
Hey, I'm here, but I'm not on the mod pin, but I can talk now.
Now we're rescued. Pat, you and I have been together kind of from the beginning, and we've shared our story before with all these different people and how we met kind of at, I love our very first before picture because we were both two people just searching for some hope. And why don't you, I know I'm putting you on the spot, but I also know you're very good at this. Why don't you take a moment and share your story? Because I know that you had a rock bottom, and ViSalus has absolutely transformed your life in so many different ways.
I'm still trying to catch my emotions from your story and Stephanie's story and Tory's story. Wow, what a call. Absolutely crazy. ViSalus Is Life. Yeah, life has been pretty interesting for the two of us, has it not? We're from about the size of 4 people to the size of 2 people now. Faith and I met about almost 4.5 years ago in Atlanta in line in a sea of people. She had this crazy hair, and I'm a giant, and I stood out, and we kind of just drew to each other, and we've been friends through the challenge ever since. I've 4.5 years of the challenge now. It started out with 56 pounds in my first 90 days, 100 pounds in 9 months. It took me a little over a year to hit 150 pounds lost. I became a champion in 2013. I've been blessed to keep the majority of my weight off. The last little bit has been a struggle, but I mean, life takes over, you get injuries, so on and so forth. But the community's always been there when I've had the down points. I know I could reach out to Faith. I can reach out to Lauren right next to me. I can reach out to Dave Morgan, the Ritters, the Kearns, anybody in TeamVi Hope, anybody in ViSalus I can reach out to. What Vi is about is the community, is the life, is the culture. When you go to one of our events, if you're on this call and you've never been to a major event, one coming up April 8th to 10th in Orlando, the National Success Training, you need to be there. You will get to meet the people that you've heard on this call tonight and heard on the call for the last over a year. Those stories that you've seen on Facebook that helped you get started on the challenge, you'll get to meet them. These calls are great. You can hear our emotion. You can hear our passion. But to be able to look into somebody's eyes and to shake their hand and to know their story and to see that ViSalus became their life, that's what this is all about, and that's how you connect with this community. So for me, I have only missed one event in my entire Vi career, and that was in 2013. I did it by choice, but I missed meeting Hulk Hogan. Ended up meeting him a couple months later, but it was really weird to sit at home and not be at an event. So what I'm saying to you right now is something that Stephanie said earlier. I told her one of the things to be able to make your transformation be the best is put your money where your mouth is. Join us on the business side of things and help us spread the word even more. Your story that you're creating will inspire people all over the world that you don't realize it. And why not, if you wear a Nike hat, if you tell somebody about a really cool movie, or you tell somebody about a great song you heard on the radio and you do that for free, why would you not share the cure for obesity and actually be able to change your life financially as well as physically? So what I'm asking all of you guys to do, and telling you guys to do, is find out about the event in Orlando, April 8th to 10th, National Success Training, register, get there, meet there, and come and shake our hands, because I'm pretty sure we're going to have our pants there too, aren't we, Faith?
Yeah. I think that's a highlight of some of those events. People like to get in our big fat pants and realize just how far some of us have come.
I want Pat in my pants. I was ready to drop the mic on getting our pants, but I decided not to. I just wanted to bring it all back. Thank you for putting me on the spot, and thank you for letting me share.
Well, thank you for jumping on. these calls, sometimes we gather everybody together beforehand, but sometimes things come up and people are unable to get on. And we're going to celebrate with Kristin in the future because we just love hearing about new 100-pound club members, and we know what it takes, and we know, how long sometimes the struggle and the mental and physical commitment it takes to get there. So we're going to congratulate her at another time. But I just want to bring it back to those of you who are on the call, or maybe you're listening to a recording, because I know sometimes the company has lots of different calls at the exact same time of night. So if you're listening even on a recording, I want to say it again, to reach out to us. The TeamVi Hope, we have a page, and we have Instagram, and we have YouTube as well. We want to hear from you. We want to hear your story. We want to share your story because everyone has a story, and that's what makes this community great, is that we each share our stories with one another, and it makes us stronger and it makes us better, and it inspires us to go help even more people. So with that being said, I want to thank every single person who got on the call tonight, who took the time to get on. I want to thank Stephanie. I can't wait, girl, to see what you do in your next 30 days. I mean, this is just crazy. And Tory, I can't wait to meet you in person. I've followed your story for so long, and I'm so inspired by that. And Katia, we've always seen each other at events, and we've gotten in each other's fat pants and stuff, and we really relate because, we've come such a long way. And I just appreciate every single one of you for taking the time, and I can't wait to hear your story and share your results and celebrate your Vi Commit victories with you. So with that being said, this call is a wrap. We look forward to hearing you and sharing your stories next Tuesday night, same time, same channel. Thanks.